All right, let's work it on the foam roller. So, let's spend some time on this thing. It's been quite a while since I've really dedicated some time in the foam roller. I think it's good for us to, focus some time and energy on it every now and again. So I'd like to spend the majority of this session on the foam roller. Maybe we'll have time at the end for some core work. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to start off rolling out of my calves here, all right? We're just going to go back and forth. You can just basically sit your butt on the ground, lay that foam roller horizontally across you, or kind of perpendicular to you. You put both calves on there and just kind of roll back and forth. Go. Just using your hands to kind of shift yourself back and forth there. Now remember, the key with foam rolling is whatever muscle you're rolling out should be totally relaxed, okay? Which might be tough, especially when the foam roller is really digging in there. So notice my toes are just kind of like sagging forward. It's because I'm not putting any effort into like trying to hold them up or point them or anything like that. My feet are just completely relaxed. So the calf muscle is completely relaxed. That's it. I'm just going to roll through there. Throughout this, if you hit a spot on a muscle that's super tender, really tough to roll through, you can just kind of sit right on that spot and just spend about 30 seconds right on that spot. And just hang out there and let it just try to relax and just dig into that spot. Okay. And if I move forward, and you're still on a spot that really still needs some more attention, and go for it. Just stay on that spot. Don't worry about having to keep up with me and where I am in my foam rolling here. Okay. But I really think it's important to sometimes just dedicate an entire workout to just foam rolling. There we go. Good. And then, good. Now, after you let it dig in there a little bit, you can pull your toes up and roll the muscle out stretched out there. So I'm pulling my toes up, trying to kind of stretch out the calf there, but it still might not dig in as much as when I'm just got to completely relax and letting it really just dig into a soft tissue there. I mean, it's technically called soft tissue, but making it even softer by not stretching it or pulling it to its end range. Just literally just making it softer there. Good. You can spend a couple minutes on one spot. That's the whole point. If it's not enough, feel free to stack your legs. And if it's not digging enough, you can just stack your legs one on the over, and the weight of that top leg, it's gonna really dig that roller into that calf muscle there. Okay. That's it. It's not gonna feel great, especially when you hit those really tender spots. Just spend some time there and hang out. Ooh. Yowzer. I'm gonna stack now on the other leg for me. Again, if stacking your legs is too much, don't stack them. Just roll both at the same time. Okay. You might notice that you might have a knot. You can also change angles. So it doesn't have to just stay flat on the roller. Tilt, kind of get different angles on the muscle. Going back and forth. Ooh. For me, it's a little more on the outside of my calves, which is not unusual. Sometimes that lateral gastrocnemius, is that sort of the outside edge, can really get tender and tight. And they're, just from our daily movement patterns. Man, No, don't be afraid of the inside though either. Get all angles. Woo. Good. I'm gonna move on a little bit. Let's go up to our thighs, essentially, our upper leg here. I like to start off. So if you want to start with me, I like to start off from the TFL, or actually, I'm sorry, the quads. Let's start off from the quads. So I'm gonna lay face down these, and just rolling the quads out here, that upper thigh. And you go from just the top of the knee there, right above the knee, all the way to right about your hips there. If you have to kind of move and adjust to get something out of the way, so it doesn't crush anything there for the men, that's okay. But again, it's even here with the quads, it's good to change angles, get different angles, roll out different spots, different locations. Go. Again, as you change angles, you might notice that one angle is more tender than the others. Spend some time there. Again, if you feel a really sharp spot, a really tender spot, and just kind of hang out right on that spot. And just try to relax your mind. Let your body just sort of ease into it. Might not feel great. Good for a good 30 seconds. Angles again, and then from here I'm gonna pick a side. So I'm gonna say my left leg, just so it starts me off facing the camera there. So with my left, I'm gonna focus now on the outside of my left leg. I'm rolling over. I'm now getting the outside of my left leg. This is your TFL. You can take your top leg, cross it in front of you, so your top foot is in front of you, and then both hands are gonna be on the mat, and those 3 points are gonna walk you along back and forth along that foam roller there. And again, it's going to be tough, but you're whatever you're rolling out should be relaxed. So my bottom leg, that left foot, is just, notice how it's just dragging on the floor there. Okay, a lot of people like to roll this spot out and their foot's up in the air, which kind of actually shows that they're engaging their muscle a little bit there, and they feel like they're really pressing and digging in. And yeah, you're doing a little something there. It's going to be more effective if you can relax a thing. You can just even pick a spot, like just stay right there, and then just hold your leg tight, but then relax the foot and let that foot fall to the ground. You might feel that foam roller dig in just that little bit more as soon as you relax and put that foot on the ground. So yeah, just be able to go back and forth, letting that foot drag on the ground there. And on here, this direction, we go from just above the knee. And then you have a bony protrusion sticking out of your hip up here. You don't want to roll over that bone. So I just kind of stay right below it, back and forth. And then eventually I'm going to go up and I'm going to get above it. But for now, I'm just going from my knee to just above this bony protrusion, right on the side of my hip here. Okay, down there. So I'm stopping right there. I guess another way to think of it, I'm wearing pants that have these cargo pockets. Right at the top of the pocket is right where I'm stopping. About right when it's about to roll onto my bone. If I were to roll any further. That's it. Again, different angles, a little more forward, get a little more back. And then from here, let's transition this to now above the hip. So now above the hip, so it means, we're not above the hip, I say the top of the hip, essentially that bone that sticks out there, let's roll around that, get around it. Now you got the soft tissue between that hip bone and then the top of your hip bone. So down here, it's actually a piece of your femur. Up here, technically, this would be a part of your pelvis. And you can kind of feel that protruding out there. We're gonna go from that point down just a little bit, getting this soft tissue. And again, you can kind of roll forward a little bit, get into sort of where the hip flexors would run up through there at the top of the quad. And then roll on our side. That's it. Good. And notice how I'm taking this, I'm transitioning it right into my glute as well. So you can go right on the side of your hip there, and I'll kind of transition back and forth there. So I'm gonna get the front of my hip there, my left side, top of the quad, kind of getting the hip flexor a little bit. And then from here, rolling around, getting the soft tissue around the side of the hip, all the way back to that glute. And I get that left focus on that left glute a little bit. And kind of just play around there. Get in between those spots. Again, you find a tender spot, man. You hang out. Spend some time on it. Ooh, for me, I'm gonna find a spot right there. If I really relax up that left leg, I'm gonna let it sink into it. Ooh, that's tender there. So I'm just gonna hang out, let the roller dig in. Right there. That's it. Good 30 seconds. Go. About 30 seconds coming up. 4, 3, 2. For me right there. That's it. That's about how long 30 seconds is, man. Gotta give it the time. Give it the time. I'm gonna transition now to this glute. So I'm on my left glute, rolling back and forth here. And I'm just gonna get that a little bit more. From here, now that I'm on the back, might as well just get the hamstrings a little bit. It's tough to get the roller to really dig into your hamstrings, but it's worth just at least check in there. Again, feet should try to be relaxed. You kind of roll back there, which might mean you kind of like my heels are sort of pulling my mat back there. Not intentionally, it's just the grip of the heel. That's it. Just checking in there. I'm gonna come back up top, and I like to transition this to, let's roll our upper back out a little bit. I like to put my arms up at 90 degrees there, or my elbows at 90 degrees, and walk that roller all the way up, letting my head fall backward as I work my way back down. Nice and easy. Kind of go easy through that lower back there. You got to use your other limbs, a little bit of your ab muscles, a little bit of the muscles in the front of your core to help control that transition through there so it's not too intense. That's it. Nice and easy. All the way up. Coming all the way back. And that whole spine opening up that direction there. Very good. Nice. I'm going to come all the way back down to my hips. Pick myself up. And then we're going to switch to the right hip and the right side, okay? So, because it's going to cause me to face away from the camera, I'm going to turn myself around. But now we're on the right hip, okay? I'm just going to kind of work our way back down, so we can kind of work this right glute a little bit. Just tilting over there. I just realized I forgot one type of roll on the left side. So we're going to show you something on the right side. We'll take it back to the left side as well here. That's it, down and up. Go. So one thing that can help target our glute a little bit more is we're gonna get the right way here. Yeah, so if we're on the right side, I'm gonna take my right foot, put it on my left knee, like this. All right, and that kind of helps pull the glute and the piriformis a little more taut. Just kind of focus on that right glute area there. With that position, can help it kind of let the roller sort of dig into that tissue a little bit more. Again, try different angles. And this is the one we missed on the left side, so as soon as we finish here, I'm going to take it back to the left side. Just going back and forth. Good. Switch sides. So now, I'm going to cross my left foot over to my left knee and focus on the left glute region again, just to get this area rolled out a little bit much more. And if that's too much, that's too intense, don't cross your ankle over your knee. Just keep the foot on the ground. Just sort of roll through it that way. Okay, I'm going to transition this now back to the right side though. So from the right glute, let's now shift over to this top section of our hip here. Soft tissue right on the side of the top of the hip here. And kind of roll that forward. Get a little bit of the hip flexor, top of the quad region. And again, if you're in a tender spot, your instinct might be to tense up that muscle and to just sort of fight it a little bit. And you got to really check in, make sure you're relaxing, letting that roller dig in. For me, this is a tender spot on both sides. Kind of transition that again from the side back to the glute if you want. Roll around. Let the roller dig in all these directions into soft tissue. Key is you really want the roller to dig into soft tissue. So essentially bony protrusions you don't want to be constantly rolling over and irritating. I'm just going to hang out here another 30 seconds for me. If you want to get a head start on rolling the rest of this outside of your right leg, go for it. If you want to have a sense for what the 30 seconds is, that's what I'm waiting on here. Oh, forgot to turn that light on. Okay, if you're already here, I'm gonna catch up with you, and now we're gonna get the rest of this outside of the right leg, rolling between the top of the knee all the way up to that bony protrusion, which for me is kind of right at the top of where a cargo pocket is. Going back and forth here. Remember, top foot is forward in front of you, both hands on the mat, and using those 3 points to control the roll so that your bottom leg is just dragging on the ground, your bottom foot is dragging on the ground, so that leg is totally relaxed on the roller. Again, you find a spot, you hang out. 30 seconds. Don't cheat. Give it time. Okay. That's it. It's gonna be a really tender area for a lot of people. It's gonna be really tough to work on this area, and it just needs time. You just gotta spend time on it. That's why it's good to spend a whole workout on a foam roll sometimes. Oh yeah. I'm gonna transition now to the quads again. So I'm back. Hey, we're back at the quads. Again, just changing angles a little bit. The inside, the outside. Kind of transition back to the outside of that right leg. You feel it out. Where those tender spots are, don't avoid them. Make sure you get them. Good. From there, I'm going to get the inside of my thighs. So I'm going to start with the left leg. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put the roller out here and just use the edge. Just use that little edge of the roller. Put my inside of my left leg on that roller. I'm going to, I'm trying to turn it up a little bit. Oh, wait, we got to go this way, I guess. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just going to kind of go back and forth, letting that roller dig in to that inner thigh. Digging in there. Again, foot should be dragging on the ground because that tissue is totally relaxed. I mean, you could say, yes, if you're just engaging the opposite muscles to hold the leg up, that tissue could still be relaxed, but you're also pulling that tissue taut. And I find most people have a hard time engaging one and not the other. Truly isolating. That's not an easy thing to do. So simplest way I say is just relax the whole leg and let it just drag on the floor so you know it's really digging in there. Ooh, that's it. Good. Let's get the other leg. I'm going to transition to the right leg now. Okay, just using the edge of that foam roller there. Just another reminder, you find a spot, hang out there. Just hang out on it. Okay. You can even transition this to isolating that one quad. Yeah, maybe you're already doing that. That's fine. Go for it. The foam roller's fairly forgiving. Well, it's quite painful actually, but forgiving in the sense of like exactly how you roll on it, how you use it. You can get creative with it, get different angles, play with it. But now I'd like to transition to the upper body a little bit. So here's the biggest reason why we really want a 3-foot long foam roller. And that is so we can lay on it lengthwise, so our head and then all the way down to our spine, all the way down to our tailbone, our whole spine can lay on it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay this roller down lengthwise along your mat, okay? We're gonna sit right on the edge of it, right on the edge, all right? If you gotta tie your shoe real quick, you can tie your shoe. If you can see where we're headed here, and I mean right on the edge, like put your tailbone right down there on the edge, but on it, not off it, on the roller. And then you're gonna just carefully lay all the way back on there. And if your head's falling off the edge, just scoot down a little bit so that your head is definitely secure, or at least laying on the roller there. Now, a couple things going here I like the fact that this roller wants to roll left and right, so we got a little bit of core stabilization going on, just a balance on here. That's a good thing. We're just intrinsic stabilization happening here. All right, and from here, I'm gonna say let's lay our arms at 90 degrees, or elbows at 90 degrees. And with your elbows at 90 degrees, just kind of go side to side in the roller, just on either side of your spine, just inside the shoulder blade, okay? We'll go back and forth like this for a little bit here, side to side. You can even go a little bit further if you want to test that. Get the outside of that shoulder, back through the outside of this shoulder, or should I say the back of each shoulder there. Getting that through. Going side to side. Whatever range is a range that you can comfortably control there, but still feel like you're rolling through those muscles. And then once you're there, I'm going to say let's now kind of center back in the middle. So we got our spine laying right down along the roller there. We're going to do a few different motions with our hands here, okay? Since it's more of like a stretching, relaxing, focused thing, I'm going to say let's start with this snow angel here. So you're going to take with your palms up, you're going to cycle through doing a snow angel. If you didn't grow up anywhere where there was snow and you don't know what that is, well, Google it. You missed out. But essentially, you're taking your arms from back behind your head, out to your sides, and all the way down to your hips. But I'm specifically doing this with my palms up, so my shoulders are staying nice and open through this motion. I'm getting a good stretch, and I'm kind of controlling it so that also when you get up by your head, don't let your shoulders go up towards your ears. We're still maintaining good posture. Don't reach your shoulders towards your ears. And you're just kind of working that range of motion so that your shoulder blade can do that little bit of upward rotation. So it's basically if your shoulder blades are like this in your back, as you go up here by your head, your shoulder blade should be able to just upwardly rotate that little bit, allowing that range to happen. But stay within a good stretch. Don't push through sharp shooting pain here. It's one of my favorite things to do on a foam roller here is opening up the shoulders here like this. We spend so much time folded forward in our lives. Opening this direction up, so key. Cycle that through. Keep going back and forth there, palms up. All right, good. And then now we're gonna try these alternating chops. So I'm gonna have my palms facing it towards each other. I'm alternating back and forth. Okay, chop my arms forward and back. But when I get back behind my head, notice the elbow remains straight. I don't let the elbow bend because that would shorten the range that my shoulder can get back there. If I straighten the elbow, I can see if I from this angle here. If I straighten my elbow, it really gets that shoulder to go much further. So with a long straight elbow, you're chopping back and forth. Nice and long. Letting the top of your shoulder blade tilt back there if you can. If you can get back that far, as long as it's not sharp or shooting pain, let those shoulder blades tilt back, open that range up. Good. Just keep chopping back and forth here, working this range of motion. And then from here, let's put our palms together. Palms together. Let's send both of them together. So the same motion, but the shoulders are going to help each other out. Sinking back, opening up back there. I like to, when I get back there, even let my elbows fall backward a little bit. Okay? But the key is also don't let your shoulders rise up towards your neck. Okay? Even if you can kind of like sink back and straighten the elbows more, I'm not letting my shoulders get up towards my ears. Okay? Shoulders are staying away from the ears through this motion. Back and forth. So we get one more here. Good. And from here, I like to even circle back. Let's do the snow angel one more time. Back and forth here, opening that up. then if you want, you could even just bend your elbows to 90 degrees and just hang out here. Just take some breaths into your chest here. Letting your arms fall back. Yeah. You can even take your elbows a little bit farther up. Just let your arms sink back in this deep stretch this way. Good. And then I'm going to circle my arms out. I'm going to gently roll to one side, take the foam roller out from underneath me. And we're doing, yeah, got plenty of time. So we're going to now focus on rolling the lats here, okay? So to get that lat, we're going to get this soft tissue basically right out here on our side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's say my right arm, okay, right arm's going out. I'm going to lay down on my side, okay, on that foam roller there, right under my armpit, and just a bit under my armpit, okay, a few inches down. And I'm just going to roll that roller with my arm up straight here. I'm going to roll that roller all the way up to my armpit, laying on my side. And this might really hurt and dig in if you got some tightness and some knots in there. And just literally just go up to the armpit, and then you just go right back down. You can kind of go back and forth there. Boy, this one can really hurt on some of you. And if you find a spot, if it's too much to roll or it's just too hard, just laying here enough, just lay here. Just breathe, try to relax your body, let it sink into that roller for 30 seconds, okay? Back and forth here, if you can. I'm gonna keep rolling. You can even tilt backward a little bit. Get just a little bit into the back. I really want to focus more so on that side, up into that roll. I mean, you'll feel it. You'll feel, whew, you're on a spot, man. It just got to be there. It's got to sit. It's got to hang out. You don't want to skip on these things, man. Work these muscles here. Whew. You can translate that now into a tricep roll. So you can just with your, again, I gotta just turn my little mic pack here, but keeping the arm out straight there, got my thumb up. I'm just gonna let the roller sort of go back and forth onto that tricep. Again, you can kind of get different angles. Just kind of go back and forth on that tricep. Nice and long out there. That's it. If you want, if it's not enough, go back to that lat. Get into that armpit. Dig in. Good. Wow. I'm going to switch sides now. So we'll go to the left side. Sorry if that banged the mic there. Sorry. So now I got my left arm out. I'm just a few inches down from my armpit. I'm going to take that roller. I'm going to roll up into the armpit, laying straight on my side. Up in there. Maybe it won't feel so bad the first time until you start playing with different angles. You find an angle and whoa, it really digs in. Might be tender. Let it dig in. And it's not so tender. It's pretty much where we're going to be finishing up, so you can go back and find a spot. Don't forget to try out the tricep up here. Get that tricep, roll that up a little bit more. But if you found some other parts in your leg somewhere that you really need to focus on, just spend the rest of this time on whatever's super tender. For me, I'm finishing up right here in the armpit. Don't skip just because it was uncomfortable. Do your best to really let your body, let that roller dig in. And ideally, you find a tender spot, and you sit on it. Look about 30 seconds, right about that 30-second mark. It should actually, somewhere in there, ease up and actually be not so painful. And you roll off, you come back, but you're gonna have to be repeated. You're gonna have to be continuous with this stuff. If you found some tender stuff somewhere in this whole foam rolling series, this whole session, that's the stuff you have to actually just spend more regular time with. Ideally, before every workout, those areas should be hit with a foam roller. It doesn't have to be as long as this, but spend some time on it. Over time, it can get better. Let's tricep a little bit there. Now, we are going to finish with some stretches, okay? Which is really great to do after these good long foam rolling sessions. Spend a little time with some stretches. So I'm going to come up out of that. And we're here on the mat. We just finished up with those lats and our triceps. Let's go right into a child's pose. So hands on all fours, basically hands and knees. You are on all fours. Walk your hands out, sit back to your heels, get nice and long. Breathing deep. That's it. It's okay if your shirt hikes up. It's fine. And exhale. Walk your fingers out there. Get your arms nice and long. Breathe into your back. Good, and then I'm actually now going to come up and transition to my back. We're going to do a couple of stretches on our back here. If you want to focus on whatever's tightest for you, go for it. But we do a little glute stretch here. 30 seconds. Good, switch sides. Let this go. Lay on one side. We're going to stretch our quads. So grab your ankle, pull your heel to your butt. Pull that in there. Switch sides. Grab the other ankle, pulling that heel to your butt. Go ahead and let that go. And then I'm going to finish up with a hamstring stretch. If you want to lay on your back and do it with the strap, feel free. I'm going to do it in my trusty chair here. You want to prop your foot up on a low chair, low bench. Remember, it's all about standing up tall, spine straight, tilting straight forward. Switch sides. Hunching a little too far. Getting a little too into it. Add a little bit of a torso stretch in there. Am I twisting slightly and reaching my hand towards that? Trying to still keep my spine up tall. Got a lot of nerve endings in the hamstrings there. Sometimes they don't feel as great when they're super tight. I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you can spend lots more time stretching out other muscles, your calves, your piriformis, your inner thigh, chest stretches, go for it. Spend as much time as you want. But otherwise, well done. Got yourself a nice full foam rolling session in, some stretching to top it off. Super important to keep that stuff regular in your routine. I tried to do it so much in these classes because we like to keep things fired up and pumped up, more strengthening focus. But I just had to take a moment. Let's focus on releasing tension in the body, especially as we're hopefully coming out of these tough times. Let's release tension. All right. Nice job. Way to get on the mat. Way to put some work in. This does count as work. This counts. All right. You didn't do nothing. You put some work in. So nice job. And see you next time.